Okay, Year 9, I'm going to go through the rest of the questions that you need to do from exercise 6i. So this is 8, 9 and 10. Now I want you to do all these questions, but I'm only going to do a couple and I'll leave you to do the rest. So question 8. Again, here we need to know our square numbers. So 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, what am I up to? 9, 81, 100, 121, 144, 169, 196. What's that? So I've got 12, 13, 14, 225. That should do us. They're all the square numbers. 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared. Now, when we look at question 8, all we're doing is we're looking for a square factor, right? A factor that is a perfect square. So when we look at root 8, and when you're doing these, if you're looking at root 8, you can't go beyond these two, right? Because 9's bigger than it. And factorising root 1 out doesn't change anything. So the only factor in there is is 4. That's a square number. And the square root of 4 is 2, so we get 2 root 2. And hence we've simplified it. I'm going to leave 12, B. I'm going to go straight to C. I'm going to do every second one. Well, root 27. And again, remember, you can't go beyond the biggest number. So you can only go that far. Sorry, you could go down to 25, but 25 doesn't go into it. So I can see that 9 goes into it. So we're looking for square factors. And 9 goes into 27 3 times. So I get 3 root 3. E. As soon as I see a root 75 or something ending in a 5, I look for 25. 25 goes into 75 3 times, which means I get 5 root 3. 60. Root 60. So if I look up here, and you can break it down in parts. I know 4 goes into it. So root 4 and 15. So I get 2 root 15. Okay. Now we did lots of those previously, or we did them in class a while ago. You should be okay with those. Now, in question 9, we're going to use that skill to create surds that have the same, like surds. So here's 9a. So we've got root 8 plus 3 root 2. Now you can't add those unless they're like surds, but you need to, whenever you get these, you've got to make sure all the surds are written in their simplest form. And we already know from above that root 8 is root 4, root 2, and we'll leave the 3 root 2 there, which means I get, 2 root 2, and we did that above, plus 3 root 2 is 5 root 2. Again, I'm going to do every second one. So I'm jumping to C now. And there's always a hint in how to do this, because the second one is already written in its simplest terms. So as soon as I see root 18 and 2, I'm going, well, I've got to divide by 2, which will give me root 9. So I get root 9, root 2, plus root 2, which gives me 3 root 2 plus 1 root 2 is 4 root 2s. That's D. C. 4 root 8 minus 2 root 2. We've already done one of them, so let's try. We'll try F and H. You have a go yourself. Root 27 plus 2 root 3. So this is, what did I say, F? G. Press F. Now, root 27 plus 2 root 3. Well, root 27, we did that above as well. That's root 9, root 3, plus 2 root 3, which is 3 root 3, plus 2 root 3, which is 5 root 3. And the last one, have a go at it before I do. 6 root 12 minus 8 root 3. 6 root 12 minus 5 root 3. Okay, so I've got a 6 there, but I can break root 12 down to root 4, root 3, because 4 times 3 is 12, and I just leave that minus 5 root 3 over there for a little bit. 6, well, root 4 is 2, and remember, all these things are multiplied. 6 times 2 is 12, so now I've got 12 root 3s minus 5 root 3s, which gives me 7 root 3s. Okay, so with 10, I'm just going to do a couple of these. These are called binomial expansions. Now, that is enrichment. Give it a crack, see how you go, but you should be right with this. So what have I got? Root 2 plus root 3 times root 2 plus root 5. Now, always be aware, when you're doing a binomial expansion, I've got 2 things by 2 things. So I should end up getting 4 things when I'm done. Remember, I've got to multiply that by that, that by that, that by that, and that by that. And that'll give me the 4 things that I need. So I'm going to write it all out. So I've got root 2 times root 2. I don't need to write the multiplication signs. Plus root 2 times root 5. So they're the first two, the top two blue lines, plus root 3 times root 2, plus root 3 times root 5. All right, let's tidy that up. Root 2 times root 2, 2. Root 2 times root 5, root 10. Root 3 times root 2, root 6. Root 3 times root 5, root 15. Now I'm just going to go and check because I want to make sure I get these right. So occasionally I will get some of these wrong. And I've got the answers up here. And the answer to 10a is 2 plus root 10 plus root 6 plus root 15. Let's have a look at, I'm just going to do the first column. So that was A. And I'm happy for you to do one column. C. What have I got? 2 root 5 minus 1. 3 root 2 plus 4. Okay, so here we go. Here's my expansion. I'm going to get that times that times that, and that times that times that. Have to be careful this time because I've got a negative. So I'm going to write it all out again. So I get 2 root 5 times 3 root 2. It all looks pretty complicated, but it's not. Plus 2 root 5 times 4. Now I've got minus, so minus 1 times 3 root 2 minus 1 times 4. Okay, take it step by step. 2 times 3, 6. Root 5 times root 2, root 10. Here, 2 times 4, 8. And then I've just got a root 5. Minus 1 times 3 root 2 is just minus 3 root 2. And minus 1 times 4 is just minus 4. And again, there's nothing there that I can put together. So 6 root 10 plus 8 root 5 minus 3 root 3. Hold on, 3 root 2. Whoa, look at that. I had a 2 there. Got to be careful. G. Oh, G is going to be interesting. So G, what have I got? 3 root 2 plus, oh G, come on. plus root 3 times 3 root 2 minus root 3. All right, this will be interesting. You're going to learn about this next year. That one times that one, and that one times that one, this one times this one, and this one times this one. Okay, so I get 3 root 2 times 3 root 2 plus 3 root 2 times, now I have to be careful, minus root 3. There's a minus there. Plus root 3 times 3 root 2 plus root 3 times minus root 3. Let's double check, make sure we've got them. The first times the first, 3 root 2 times 3 root 2. 3 root 3, oh, look at that, I've made a mistake even again. Look at that. 3 root 2 times negative root 3. Then I've got 3 root 3 times 3 root 2. And then I've got root 3 times minus root 3. Okay, let's tidy it all up. Well, the 3 times 3 is 9, and the root 2 times root 2 is 2. Here, I've got a positive times a negative, so I'm going to get minus 3, and root 2 times root 3 is root 6. Here, I've got a 3 out the front, and root 3 times root 2 is root 6. Oh. And here, I've got a positive and a negative, so I'll get a minus, and root 3 times root 3 is 3. Oh, well, 2 times 9 is 18. Look at these two things. I'm adding and subtracting the same thing. They disappear. They cancel each other out. Minus 3 root 6 plus 3 root 6, they're gone. So then I've just got minus 3. And 18 minus 3 is 15. That's a special product. It's called the difference of two squares. And we're going to learn about it next year. We don't need to learn about it now, but it's interesting to see it appear, which is why it's in the enrichment part. Okay, one more. I'm not going to do the last one. 1 plus root 2 squared, because this is only enrichment, and I'd rather you get on with the other one. So 1 plus root 2 squared. Again, this is a binomial expansion. Don't be tempted just to go, oh, I'll square everything. Watch what happens. You're going 1 plus root 2 times 1 plus root 2. So again, I'm going to have 4 things. I'm going to get the 1 times a 1, the 1 times the root 2 times the 1, and the root 2 times the root 2. So 1 times 1 plus 1 times root 2 plus root 2 times 1 plus root 2 times root 2. Well, 1 times 1, 1. Root 2 times 1, root 2. Root 2 times 1, root 2. Root 2 times 2, 2. Well, the 1 plus 2 is 3, and 1 root 2 plus another root 2 is 2 root 2s. What was that, H? Wasn't H, was it? It was I. I was just wondering because I got a different answer, and I, 3 plus 2 root 2. All right, have a go at question 10. See if you get the same answers. Remember, these are all binomial. If I lose it again. These are all binomial expansion. And I'm just going to scroll down to where it is again. This is all binomial expansion. So simple operations with surds. So the very last question, binomial expansion, it's 2 things by 2 things. So when you do the expansion, you're going to get 4 things, 4 terms. I shouldn't call them things, 4 terms. And then you just simplify. All right, good luck with those.